All right, guys, we're back out here in the garage. It has been a minute since I've done any work out in the garage, and it's been quite a while since we've done any work on the 92 KX125. We're going to try to get that corrected today and get a little work done. I don't have a lot of plans for it. I think we're going to try to get the rear suspension off, swing arm, take a look at the bearings, see what we need to do there. I have to apologize. I haven't done anything to this bike for 3 months, 4 months, something like that. I take that back. I pulled the radiators a week or two ago, got them cleaned up and ready to put back on. But we have a lot of work to do to this thing. I haven't even touched the motor really. Need to get the suspension sent off and go from there. I wouldn't say I've been busy. I've just been playing a lot on the T7 and just doing other dirt bike stuff. I don't know for sure if I'm going to have this bike ready for the 125 Dream race. If I don't, I will probably still take a two-stroke of some kind up there. Maybe my 300, maybe my KX250 if I can get those forks put back together and figured out what's going on with that. But yeah, so I've got a lot of work to do still. And of course, the whole filming process slows down the work a little bit, so I don't know how much I'll record and how many updates I'll do to it. It's a fun project. I've been having fun with it. Summertime, it's time for riding, so unfortunately I kind of passed my winter window to try to get this thing done. But there's still hope. The motor's pretty strong. I think the top end was recently rebuilt before I had purchased the bike. I'm still going to open it up and look at it, but if I can get the bike to run and run well, it needs the crank seals replaced for sure. And a few other things. The countershaft sprocket seal I think needs replaced, but originally I was going to just rebuild the whole thing, tear it down, split the cases, do all that stuff. I don't have time for that if I have any plans of getting it ready for the 125 Dream race, so I'm probably going to skip that if I can get it running well. If I can't get it running well, then I have to go to plan B and think about using the 150 since I don't think my son's going to race. He's not quite been riding enough to be ready for that, so maybe I'll take the 150 up and race it, which I'd really enjoy because that bike is really fun. But the problem with that is I'd probably have to respring it or lose a bunch of weight. And let's be honest, I'm not going to lose a bunch of weight. So anyhow, let's get into doing some work on this thing. We'll get some videos made of it, and we'll try to get back on track with this project. I think we're going to pull this rear brake caliper and master cylinder off first. Be done with this guy completely. Well, not done. It needs cleaned up and a bunch of work done to it still, but I think it looks like it's kind of misshapen a wee bit, maybe. Oh, that's going to be an issue. Might have to soak this for a while. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's a tight one. WD-40 to the rescue. I mean, whatever it takes, right? I've had these soaking for a while, and I think that was probably a good idea. I don't know if I'll pull that cable off or not. I probably should to really clean up the master cylinder, but we'll get there when we get there. course, we do not want to lose these guys. Sometimes you can give these a couple whacks. It'll kind of free up the rust and the whatever's seasoning it all up together. Doesn't always work, but it does help sometimes, along with soaking it a little bit. There we go. And in this case, it appears to have worked. One of the easy ways to keep from losing the bolts is to put them right back in where they came from. Of course, they will have to be addressed when you go to do the cleanup part of it, but usually it helps to have an idea of where they go. With that, we should be able to slide this whole thing off. Boom! Now what am I going to do with it? Switch over to a different screwdriver here. A little shorter handle, we can get in there a little easier. Of course, it is not the perfect size bit like this one is. Japanese industrial standard or whatever they are. So curious, does anybody have a line on swing arm paint? Originally I wasn't going to paint it, I was just going to kind of keep it original, but it's pretty chewed up. So I might just paint it if I can. I know PJ1 still makes the frame paint, and they used to make a swing arm paint, a silver swing arm paint that matched pretty good, but I haven't been able to find it. So what's everybody else using? Because I'd like to do something with it, match it pretty close. Oh. Oh, I need to get the I need to get the shock and the linkage off first. Duh. What was I thinking? Okay, so let's do that. Gotta love the 4th of July. Huh. It's not too bad. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but the linkage says 93 on it. I find that to be a little odd. Okay. This thing, I imagine, is not going to come out of here easy. Because why would that happen? I am happy to see that I can get the shaft to spin, which is always good news, but if this hasn't been taken out recently, it could be pretty tough to get out of here. But maybe I'll be surprised. Let's go give it a shot. Might hurt your ears a little bit. Oh, so far so good. She's pretty rusty looking. She's not totally dry, that's good. Put that straight in the soaker. Plug this thing in and turn it on. I don't know if this is in frame or not. Get this lower shock bolt off, pull this shock off, and probably send it to Corey at Ride Suspension. That's my plan right now. If I can figure out how to get it to him in a reasonable amount of time. Seems how he is out of Wairika, somewhere around there. Not much of a drive, but it's still a little bit of a drive for me. Freedom. It still has the, it's hard to see, but it has a Kawi sticker on there. Man, that's crazy. Oh yeah. Look at that. That is years of dirt. Love it. Bring you over here. Let's take a little look around in here. Pull this guy off and get it cleaned up. can't get the rest of this guy out. Probably run a zip tie through these bearings just to keep everything together while I soak it in the hot tank for a while. Hot tank ultrasonic cleaner, I guess is what it is, but you know what I mean. It's funny, when I see this white Loctite stuff, it makes me think it's factory stuff, but I know there's no way that this has never been torn apart with how old the scooter is. But yeah, you see that white stuff? Always makes me, I found it in several spots on the bike. Radiators and all that. Always makes me think it's still factory Loctite. I don't think it's factory Loctite, but you get what I'm saying. Huh. Well, I didn't expect that to happen, so I'm going to have to take the mounts off first, apparently, before I can get that guy out of there. May as well take this guy off. I always know better than to try to do it with just one wrench. This thing looks pretty hammered. Yeah, that's pretty hammered. Pretty hammered. But I'm just going to throw this whole thing. Hey, look at that. My dogs are not loving the 4th of July. Oh. There we go. Kind of a mess.